This is Greg, and I'm back at day 2 of Cognite's Impact 2025. I've got the pleasure of speaking with Natalia Klafke. Natalia is the Executive Vice President of Energy and Sustainability with Radix. So thank you for carving out some time, Natalia.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be one other year at Impact and joining the industry, talking with peers and customers.
A lot of changes year over year, right? Since we saw last year to this
The event is way bigger. The maturity of the discussions is getting more interesting, right? We do see very concrete achievements from last year and way bolder goals from the majority of the clients, yeah.
Fantastic.
And Cognite as well, right? With bolder
indeed.
goals, yeah.
Indeed. Although it seems like every energy company is told that AI is going to make, redefine, if you will, their efficiencies, their reliability, their sustainability initiatives, but many are still struggling to actually get that to fruition, to see the results. From your experience across the energy sector, what distinguishes the operators who achieve tangible results and get an ROI out of their initiatives versus some of the ones that maybe just are stuck in that pilot purgatory, if you will?
Yeah. Well, I think we are indeed living a pivotal moment where there is a lot of tension, a lot of traction under this particular topic. The leadership is willing to understand how do they connect with the strategy and to really use AI on top of their current capabilities, right? Which is very, very positive. And obviously, in every new bet, we'll have winners and losers, right? We do see a lot of companies that are thriving because they do have the right data infrastructure, right? So they have the data integrated in order to leverage AI. This is the common ground to start this journey, right? Exactly. They also are connected with the strategy, so they are not using just because everybody is. This is connected to an objective, a clear goal. This is another critical factor for success. And they also learned how to translate ambiguity into action, because one of the main points of failure is the lack of clarity, transparency, and alignment within companies. So just to give you an example, earlier this morning we saw someone sharing how fast they could deploy an RCA application, which is true. In terms of technology, you can actually deploy this super fast. The problem is how much time do you need to make all the alignments needed to make sure that everyone understands that this is a good and practical solution for the business. This is where the real effort is on it, right?
That makes a lot of sense. So the speed is not necessarily the most important factor, it's the
Well, speed is important, but if you have a good strategy to bring your organization together, right? It's that kind of analogy where you say if you run alone, you go faster, but if you go in a team, you go way further, right? I think this is the mantra for those kind of initiatives.
I like that analogy.
Yeah, yeah.
When you're inside a refinery or a power plant or an offshore type of a platform, what's the first signal to you that an AI or an IIoT initiative is genuinely making an operational impact, in a positive way, rather than just generating more data for a dashboard?
Well, the first KPI that we will look after is adoption. Why? Because at the end of the day, what we want is to accelerate and leverage people to, bring the insights, to make better and more confident decisions. And this will require a lot of participation, right? You need people that understand that this data is now available, they have those insights available for them, and they need to do something with that, right? So first indicator is they do have a good adoption rate, and also a second point is how broad this application is applied, right? So if you think about scale, you want to see more sites, more facilities, more equipment, more processes involved. Other than that, it's just a niche type of solution that won't have the same kind of impact.
Gotcha. So energy systems are complex, right? You've got, and it's a safety critical environment on top of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the human aspect of it, is critical, right? It's essential, basically. What's one of the common mistakes, kind of to this, alluding to this point you're making, that you see energy companies make, or maybe mistakes that can be avoided for integrating the operators and the engineers actually into that digitalization or that AI initiative?
Yeah, so one of the common mistakes is to neglect the effort on change management, right? And to, understand that the technology problem is, the only thing that they need to take care of. On the human behavior and leveraging adoption, leveraging capabilities, supporting people on how they will, manage these new tools and how they will, design their own work and workflows. This is super critical, and I think this is one very common mistake that we see some companies don't put enough attention. Although we talk a lot about change management, not everyone understands that this is a critical factor for success.
I have to believe, especially in the energy sector, even manufacturing as well, right? That kind of a cultural shift can be huge.
Absolutely. And we have so many changes happening right now, right? We have a generation change that is happening. We have new capabilities, new tools coming in faster and faster, way more intensively that it happened in the past decade. So this is something that is new for us now. We have to learn how to work on that. And also this meaning of the workflows, what will still be done by humans, what can be automatized. This is a discussion that is also in place. So a lot of components that is changing the workforce environment that need to be taken care of.
In the renewable space, it seems like there's data everywhere. It's abundant, right?
Yeah.
But context is king, as
Absolutely,
they say.
yeah.
So from a forecasting wind variabilities to managing complex hybrid assets in the renewable space, how are leading companies using AI and IIoT to transform data into real-time decisions on the fly, so to speak?
And you made a very good point. Data without context is just noise, right? So I think this is one of the critical factors. In terms of the renewable sector, we do see a strong component needed in terms of the resilience, right? So weather behavior is not the same as it was before. Demand forecasting is not the same as it was before now that we have the AI data centers coming in. So a lot of new factors are coming, and the existing models, they are probably not fit for these new purposes, right? So there is a strong need in terms of capabilities to review those models, recalibrate for those new variables, and to be proactive enough to understand this dynamic environment in order to have models that are more connected to this resilient mode of operation that is needed at this point.
Gotcha. Pull out your crystal ball a little bit, if you will.
Cool.
As the energy transition accelerates, at an accelerating rate, quite frankly, how do you see the role of AI and IoT playing out over the next 5 years? 10 is probably too long to look at. And balancing that decarbonization against operational efficiency requirements and even cost pressures of running an operation.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see that in this space there is one huge shift, which is AI. It's not only the tool to solve the problems, but is also one of the main sources of the problem, which is creating all this huge energy demand. So when you look at the tech companies, they became not only the solution, but they also became the demand portion where they are the clients asking for more conditions to have a green and resilient and sustainable energy. So it is very interesting to see this power dynamics changing so fast. But as any other business that rely on data and needs predictability, and they need resilience, as I said, AI is a critical factor and will contribute a lot to support those operations. So my bet is I feel like we will see more and more of these solutions being deployed. Obviously, it's a business that is still balancing the dynamics of economics, right? Especially when we have some geopolitical factors that changes on the dynamics of the market. But I do see that this is a road that there is no way to come back. Nobody will not be talking about AI in 5 years. I wouldn't bet on that.
If they're not, it's going to be that picture of the dinosaur that was up on the slides
Exactly,
earlier, right?
exactly. I think this is just, it's already a fact. We don't need a crystal ball for that, I would say.
No, fantastic. Thank you so much, Natalia.
Oh, it was a pleasure to talk to you.